Greetings, 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 and welcome to another exciting episode of Great American Survival. Today is a great day. Today has been a wonderful day. It's been a wonderful evening. Now it's Wednesday. Most of the way through the week. We're looking forward to this weekend. We're going to be camping with our scouts, but we're also going to be getting our son ready for to leave for summer camp, to work at summer camp. So today we're doing it a little differently. We're in the backyard by our wood pile. So I kind of messed up. I tried a couple of other ones, but I kept messing them up. I kept leaving them unlisted. So this one's public. So hopefully some people will jump in here in a minute. There we go. And it's just going to be a Q&A session. I just wanted to, I'll start off until people start commenting. I'll go on a little tangent. And my thing is, I had a really good customer service experience this weekend, or this week, and I was ecstatic. And I'm going to do a video later on this week, and I hope when I do, you guys see the video, and I hope you guys help me share it, because it's not just about me. It's about the lady that helped me at Lowe's, and I'm one of those people. I have a tendency when I get upset over a situation, I obsess, and I'm one of those people. I tell 900 people how upset I am about the fact that they didn't have cheese on my burger, or something simple like that. But this time it was about good service, and she was awesome. How long have I been hammocking? That was from Miss Laura, and we got Thom. Is it Thom or Thorn? Thorn, Draven, and Laura. I have been hammock camping for over 30 years. I have hammocks that I've made, and I have hammocks that my mother has made when I was growing up. My first hammock I ever really enjoyed was one my mom made. And it's been awesome. I've been doing it. I broke my back in '94, and ever since then I've been sleeping in a hammock. It's just a lot more comfortable for me. I don't wake up sore, and it's just a better situation. I get to enjoy it. I wake up, I'm ready to take on the world. I can almost fall asleep in the front yard getting ready to do the live stream in my hammock before, especially if I have a book. Man, I'm just comfortable. I can get in my hammock, get really, really comfortable, read a book, and just relax and just take in the noise of nature, and it's just awesome. Like I said, this is going to be a question and answer, so if you have any questions, please let me know. And I appreciate it, Laura. And the way with a lot of it with hammocks is what I really like about hammocks is the fact that it doesn't matter where I'm at. I can use my hammock, and I can it doesn't matter if I'm on uneven ground, if it's really rocky, if I'm at the beach. I've tied up underneath fishing piers. I've tied up all kinds of places. And it's just really easy. I've tied up between cars. You're only limited by your imagination, and structural integrity. So if you can find something, solid and sturdy to tie on, you can. I've done a lot of stealth camping where I tied up in places and camped when I wasn't supposed to be there. Just because I didn't want to drive home. When I lived in Los Angeles, I would work in Santa Barbara, and I didn't want to drive all the way. Phil said he doesn't know if he could sleep in one all night. It is a personal thing. Mine personally, it's about safety and comfort, But I also think with mine, one of the biggest things for me is when I'm camping with my scouts is safety. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you're a bear burrito. Okay, where's the neatest place I went? Okay, I'll share that with you in a moment, Laura. And when I'm in a hammock, if you're in a tent and you hear a noise, you can't tell what it is. In a hammock, I just turn one side, turn on my flashlight or my headlamp, which I usually hang off my ridgeline, and I shine it in one direction or another. And I just look and see what's making the noise. I've had close calls. I've had several bear encounters with my little burrito, and it's been wonderful. Some of them have scared me where I woke up and I really had to pee after it. But Laura asked, where was the neatest place I went? And if you're referring to in my life, I've actually been, that would be a hard one. I've been in some really cool places. I spent 3 months traveling around Europe once, and I spent 6 months the second time. And I really enjoyed it. And the whole turmoil that's going on over there right now is what breaks your heart, because there's some amazing people. Time out, Tennessee. Good to see you, Wallace. And Europe, there are so many nice and wonderful people over there that it's breaks your heart to see the crazy world we're going through. Laura asked, she wants to try the hammock for $20. The Walmart hammock. Hold on. Let me see if I have mine here. My hammock tote is out here on the back porch, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm looking for the hammock you are inquiring about. I have one, and it's not bad. It's called the Equip. The sunlight just went away right when I walked over here. The Equip's not bad. It's a lot like the hammock I was just in. The one I was just in was called a Serac, and it's a little short, but it's actually got a pretty wide cut, so that's a good thing. For a hammock to get out and get going in, it's awesome. The thing I will advise you in is buy a cheap set of tree straps, just because it saves you from the inconvenience of falling on the ground. But for what you can get, the ones I just bought at NRA show, I bought 2 Yukon Outfitter hammocks, and I only paid $40 a piece for them, and they had straps with them. And that's a full-blown 400 plus pound weight limit. Practical outdoors, nice. Good to see you. Glad to have you on here. Anybody feel free to shoot me a question and let me know what you guys are thinking about tonight. Laura's been asking me some great questions. She's I've been talking to Laura in a lot of comments on a lot of my videos because she's really interested in hammock camping. It's a lot of fun. I don't think you'll regret it. And if you're looking at trying out one of those, let me know. I'm trying to get with Yukon Outfitters and get a code so I can get a discount for everybody. And it's just really, really cool because I like their stuff. All right. And what it is their hammocks. Yukon Outfitters they have a Chinese manufacturing plant and they have an American manufacturing plant. American manufacturing plant is made in Tennessee, and those are all their personal hammocks that have their name on them. Their original Chinese manufacturing plant none of their Yukon Outfitters, none of their Chinese stuff does, but their Chinese hammocks are 90% of the ones you'll see on the market are all made by them in China at their Chinese plant. They'll be the first one, they're open about it. But people send them their labels, they sew them on. That's what they do. They're a marketing company. They make hammocks, that's their goal. So they make a lot of hammocks for a lot of companies, and a lot of them are ones that I personally have owned, and it bothered me that I've given all this prop to certain hammock companies recently. Yes. And then they aren't made by themselves, and they're not made in America. Okay, wonderful, Laura. I'll ask if they all have the same weight limit. No, hammocks are all different because they're all made from different deniers. The denier is the weave of the nylon. Some of the nylons are heavier nylon, so they're real light. They're heavier, but they have a higher weight count. They can handle a lot more weight, like 500 pounds. Hike with Mike. Good to see you, bud. And then the lighter weight ones, the real lightweight deniers, the almost parachute material. I mean, real lightweight. Most hammocks you're going to find are not this material, but they're rated for 250, 300. That's where they're at with weight. So they're lighter weight, but they're also lighter weight material. So you can't load them up with a lot of extra body weight. So, and you get into quality is, you get what you pay for when it comes to them. Yes, you can get some great hammocks for $50. You can get a good hammock set up. And yes, there's people out there that'll say you need an underquilt and all this, but not to get started. You can get started with a good sleeping bag and a hammock, some straps and a tarp, and have a great camping experience and just have a good time. Wake up comfortable, ready to take on the world the next day. They're wonderful. They're very easy to set up. My favorite thing about them is, like here in Georgia, it has rained for the past week. I mean, I had to come out and pull a plug on the side of our above ground pool to let out water. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? I had to let water out of my above ground pool because it's rained so much here that the water was going over the sides. I mean, it was that full. And it's because it's rained here since I washed my motorcycle on Saturday, and it has rained every day since. I mean, like monsoon rain. Like if I walked out here in my backyard, there is a puddle like in my grass where it's just so saturated. I mean, it's just crazy. But you take a hammock and you go somewhere where it's been raining all week. You go, tie off, throw your tree strap around one side, go over, tie your tree strap around the other, hook your hammock to that strap, walk it out, tie it to the other one, get it comfortable, get it snug, get your sag right, and climb in. Put your tarp up if it's raining. You can hang your tarp up first if it's raining, and then just climb under it and do the rest of your business, hook everything else up, and stay dry. It is so easy and so quick. Everybody, when we go camping, they get mad because I'm one of the last ones to take mine down. Oh, you finally got out of the rain? Man, I know, Mike, you guys have been getting pounded just about as much as we have. Yeah, we had a drought going on before that back in January, and it is over. We sat there, and I love the fact that when I go somewhere, I can set up my hammock, tarp and all, in a matter of minutes. If I'm in a hurry, I can do it in 3 to 5, maybe 3 minutes, and that's with putting up my tarp or my rain fly. I can put up a hammock quick, especially if I got an easy setup. I haven't done any videos on my hammock setups just because I just haven't done those yet. I really, if you noticed, I hadn't up until right at the end of the last year. I didn't really do a lot of my hammock videos. There was so many of them out there, but don't get me wrong, there's some that I like, and then there's a bunch of them I don't like. So I am going to be doing more and more of my hammock videos, just because hammocks are, I have a lot of information and I have a lot of knowledge of hammocks, and I like to share that with other people. And as you can see, I'm knowledgeable about hammocks. I've been doing it for a long time, and I probably should have started there, but I didn't. I started with all kinds of other little stuff and just kind of worked my way around and just had fun with things. But what we're doing here tonight is a question and answer period. If you have any questions, doesn't have to be about me personally. It can be a question you have about hammocks or anything else. Oh, we got Lola. Hello, Miss Lola. She is awesome. Where are you at, Miss Lola? Where are you at this week? I know you were up for Trail Days. I saw that. That was awesome. I wish I could have gone. That would have been awesome. I went to Trail Days 3 years ago. We were hiking the Appalachian Trail. I did not get to through hike it. Just couldn't do it. We didn't have time. We just tried to see how far we could get in a month, and had a good time with it. But ever since then, we actually got there and Trail Days was going on, so we stopped. That's funny, Lola. We have a lot of fun here. When I first started off earlier tonight, get some loud birds. You hear that? I love that. I love birds. How long have you been a scooter? I used to race crotch rockets back in the early 90s. And in 94, I was put into a guardrail and spent 6 months learning to walk again after I spent 6 weeks in traction. Broke 74 bones in my body, including 2 in my spinal cord. I broke 2 vertebrae. I shattered them, just shattered them, cracked my skull in 3 places. It made me a lot of who I am today. Broke all my ribs but 2, both legs. Like I said, cracked my skull. It was pretty gnarly. It was a pretty bad wreck. I'm amazed I survived, but God had plans for me, so I'm still here. But I didn't ride again till I wrecked in 94, and I bought my Harley in 2004. I had always been a crotch rocket guy. I used to race the GSXR and had a lot of fun with it. But when I wrecked, I stopped. I didn't ride for a long time. And then in 2004, we were at a festival in Albany with my sister, and her boss bought a motorcycle, and he had broken his hand, and he couldn't ride. So he asked me if I knew how to ride a motorcycle, if I would mind riding the motorcycle back to her house. And I was like, sure. I haven't ridden in a while, and it was a real nice drag bike, like Harley style. And I rode it, and I literally couldn't stop smiling for 3 days. Just felt so good. Went out, looked at bikes for a while, and then I finally met with the best of both worlds and bought my bike. I bought an 04 Sportster and ran it for about 5 years. Started getting around the 20,000 mile mark, and yeah, I rode my bike a lot. I rode back and forth to work every day. And finally, I had to shed it. I had to have the motor redone, and all in all, now it's a hardtail Sportster, and it's an awesome bike. Yes, people on cell phones are very dangerous. Both times, my two biggest wrecks I've been in 3 motorcycle wrecks altogether. 2 of them I was hit at the same intersection. By people just not seeing me sitting waiting for the light, and people ran into the back of me both times. One time I bounced off the windshield, the other time I went through the windshield backwards. Woke up, I was in the passenger seat. When I was on the other one, I was coming back from Santa Barbara, going back to LA, and a lady clipped me in a Volvo, didn't see me, and just clipped me and put me off the road. I went off into the gravel, and I hit the guardrail, and I bounced down it. I don't remember this. I'm just going by what I was told. I don't remember any of it. I don't remember the weeks that followed. All I know is it hurt. I have my helmet. My helmet has about a half an inch of fiberglass chopped out of the top of it from where I hit a sign, like a highway sign on the side of the road, and it hit my helmet and it knocked a chunk out of it. So it was like I said, I got to keep the helmet, but everything else I don't remember. Yeah, loud pipes do save lives. I do have drag pipes on my bike, yes. I love my bike. My bike's a lot of fun. I washed it Saturday hoping to get to ride, and I haven't gotten to ride all week. Every day it literally is monsooning rain first thing in the morning. It's like raining right off the bat, and I look at the weather and they're like, oh, it's going to rain all day. And it's hopefully going to break out. I actually took the cover off of it, had it in the driveway, have it ready to go in the morning if I can. I'm looking forward to it. But we've been having a lot of fun. It was really cool. When I was setting up earlier to do the first pod, I was going to do a live stream earlier, and I couldn't get it to go on. It kept kicking me over to my neighbor's Wi-Fi. I don't know why. I was on my Wi-Fi, but it kept kicking me over to theirs. And a hawk flew over with a snake in its claws. Big snake, probably either a Georgia, black rat snake or a rattlesnake. Big snake flying away. Just flying over with this huge snake coiled up in its claws. It was awesome. I don't like snakes. I don't like snakes at all. Let me correct that. I like snakes, but I don't like what they do. I've been bit by a rattlesnake in my foot when I was hiking the John Muir Trail one time, and it was awful. I'm allergic to erythromycin, which is part of what they use when they're dealing with snake bites when it comes to rattlesnakes. And I had to have transfusions and stuff like that. So yeah, I've had a pretty bad luck. I thought God was trying to kill me for a long time. I also, on a hike in the middle of nowhere of northern Yosemite, I was shot in the leg by a crossbow. from somebody just off practicing. We never found out who the person was, so we never knew who the person was. I got struck. He apparently shot it, and it went over a ledge and hit me in the leg. My daughter through hiked the John Muir Trail when she was 17. Awesome. I loved the John Muir Trail. I'm going through a custody battle. No problem. I would love to pray for you. Keith, we would love to pray for you. Yeah, that's not even a question, brother. Yes, Chris, it is crazy. It's one of those things, you know. We always tell people, you know, people always ask why when we have a really intense first aid kit. And they're like, oh, well, you know, what do you need it for? You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's going to happen out there. Accidents happen. I met a guy when I hiked the PCT, and I met him on the PCT, and the man had a huge scar on his head. And he said a helicopter crashed, and he got hit with part of a rotor blade. A rotor blade. I mean, just crashed, blade flew through the air, hit him in the head, like off in the distance. He couldn't even see the helicopter crash, but the blade like flew off into the trees and hit him in the head, knocked him out. He said somebody came by and found him. Good night, Phil. It was good seeing you, buddy. Yeah, and met him. He had this like, you know, wicked scar, and you're like, wow, you know, but he survived. I was like, man, that's a great little conversation piece. You know, I've had some great little things to talk to people about, but never that. Never I got hit with a helicopter, you know. I'm going to turn on my porch light because it's getting dark out here. We are in the backyard. We are not in the front yard like we usually are. So, there we go. That'll give you a little more view of my face, if that's what we want to see. There we go. That's better. And we had a great time. I've had, like I said, I've had some bad experiences, but I've also seen some breathtaking places in the world. So I can't complain, you know. God has created an amazing landscape out there for us to see. And I've just been blessed to get to go to a lot of places. We were having this conversation a couple nights ago. We were having a conversation with some parents that were saying their kids want to go and do this when they graduate. I'm like, let them. You know, my mom was like that. My mom was my biggest fan. My mom was, if I said I wanted to go try something like that, she's like, so where are you going to go first? You know? And when I told her when I graduated I wanted to go and we'll go around Europe. And she was like, okay, you know, let's plan this out. She helped me work on it. She helped me figure out where I was going to go. The first time we went, we were going for a month. We ended up being there for 3. And the second time we went, we were planning on being there for 6, and we were there for 6. And it was just wonderful. Worked in a vineyard. I've worked in a bunch of different places all over. Habitat destruction is harder and harder to find wild places to go. Well, yeah, it is harder and harder. But it's also, the one thing I'm glad about is that we do have such an intense state park system, whether it's in Georgia, California, everywhere I've lived, I've been blessed to live around a lot of state parks. And here in Georgia, we have just so much wildlife. It's amazing. Yeah, especially in Florida. You guys go through so much. Yes, I was on my note. That's awesome. That is awesome. She has done see, I've never gotten to finish I've done the John Muir Trail and loved it. I love the John Muir Trail. It's just such an amazing hike. The AT, I have not through hiked it. I've done section hikes to about 3/4 of the trail. And it's just, one day I plan to do it. I actually would like to do it in a couple years when my son graduates from high school. We'll see. When I used to open restaurants for Fresh Choice, which is a all-you-can-eat salad bar company. I love Pine Mountain. Pine Mountain, me and my wife just went there for just to get away, just the two of us. And when I was living in LA, I was opening restaurants for Fresh Choice. Well, they said they wanted me to work in Santa Barbara for the week to fill in for one of their managers. So this was one of my, like, some of my stealth camping. And we went up there, and they paid me a per diem, and then they paid me for a hotel room. They said I could stay in a hotel room if I wanted. You know, here they gave me, I think it was like $75 a day, and then they gave me a $50 a day per diem to eat on. Well, I would literally, at the time, I had a little Acura Integra, and the good thing was I called it Gucci Flage, because I could park it anywhere, and it wasn't like what people think of it as a little import car now and a little rice burner, but at that time it was a pretty nice car, especially around Los Angeles. It was pretty common. Malibu, Pepperdine, all that whole area of California, that car blended in. You get up into Santa Barbara and it just was blended in. It belonged in any neighborhood, anywhere in the area, just because of what it was. And I would literally just go find a park. I'd find anywhere. I've parked I've gone and parked and then just hiked down to a fishing dock, like fishing pier, tie up a little higher, because park rangers and lifeguards and beach patrol, they'll come by and they'll usually look, and they're looking down. So you tie your hammock up a little higher, you kind of climb up into it, and you go to sleep. You know, you get up in the morning, you go to work, or you go to the nearest shower, rinse off, and then hop in your car and go to work. You know, it was awesome. I loved it, and I did it quite a few times, and I never got caught. And don't get me wrong, you can get in a lot of trouble for it, but you also, most of the time, you're not gonna get in that kind of trouble. You know, so what I always tell people with stealth camping is that's when you want a darker hammock, because you tie up somewhere like that, you can tie up in the tree line where you got some trees in between you and them. They're never going to see you. But you're tied up in a red and blue, bright colored, beach hammock like what I was out in today out in the front yard. That thing stands out. I've got bright green ones. I've got yellow ones. I even bought a pink and gray one a couple weeks ago, an ultralight. And, some of them are just really loud. Some of them are really bright, but other ones are really stealthy, and they work out great, But we had a great time with ours. Like I said, I've camped in a hammock in some great places. I've tied up on train stations, bus stations, outside of bus stations, inside bus stations. I've been we were going across to Iran, and we were in a bus, and they told us to stay down, so we tied up low and around the back, and we're sleeping in those, and it was awesome. Oh, there you go. You made your own? See, that's killer. And they're so easy. We worked with it where we were teaching our boys how to make one, and I might do a video on this, on just how to make one real quick with a tablecloth. But it's really easy. There's some really easy ways to make a hammock, and it's not very expensive. But the cost of them now is just so dirt cheap that it's hard not to just buy one. Like I said, I bought the Yukon Outfitter ones I bought at NRA this year, just a couple weeks ago, were two wonderful 10.5 foot by 6.5 foot beautiful hammocks with adjustable tree straps, like slide cinch buckles, just like the high-end like Dutch wearers are. That's what they're putting on their new ones instead of carabiners to cut down on some of the weight. Just beautiful. I mean, just makes that much better. Yes, the cost on hammocks has gone down a lot. And what it is, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them that are being made in China, but there's also a lot of companies that are going back to American made. And nylon's not expensive. Ripstop nylon is not expensive, and you've got some great companies here in the U.S. that'll sell it to you cheap for what it is. And you can get into ultralight, or you can just get normal, 75, 70 deniers, all the way down to 30s. 30 denier are great, but very lightweight. And then you got bigger ones that are just heavy duty. But like I said, my bare butt hammocks are my 500 pounders. I can put my family in those. Me and my wife sleep in one of those comfortably, like together. It's easy. It's easy, it's comfortable, and we enjoy it, But I promised I wouldn't go over 30 minutes, so we are coming up on our 30-minute mark, and I want to just say thank you to everybody. Yeah, yours is made in America. I love it. You made it yourself. That's awesome, man. And like I said, if you guys have any more prayer requests or anything you want to mention, if you don't want to do it on here, just shoot me a private message. I would love to hear them from you guys. If you have any questions or concerns or anything you want to ask me involving hammocks, please feel free to send me a private message or send it to my email at greatamericansurvival@gmail.com. All right, guys? Well, I hope everybody gets out there, has a great week. I won't take any more time. We've been on here going on over 30 minutes, and I love you guys. You guys are great, and I look forward to doing it next Wednesday night. This will be my regular time, and I hope everybody has a great week. Get out there, enjoy yourself, be prepared, stay safe, and God bless. We see you soon, guys, and I hope you guys have a blessed week. See you soon. Bye, guys.